This right here is my cat. She's very lovely. I am now going to move the camera so that you can see me as opposed to her, but she's still very lovely. Hi, I'm CarolVanNatta, science fiction and fantasy author, and this is a podcast of me and my cat. She might not stay though. She gets kind of bored with me talking if I'm not petting her. So today I'm going to be talking about my adventures at Whimsy Con, which was last weekend in Denver. I tried really hard for a live cast from there, but my technology just was absolutely not the least bit cooperative. So I'm doing it today to tell you what happened, and then I'll tell you about my upcoming release. It'll be very exciting. I will try to answer questions as I go, but if I see them, but sometimes it doesn't show them, and then I don't see them till afterwards. So if you ask a question or make a comment and I don't see it, I will try and get to it. So Whimsy Con. So this was the first one. It used to be Anomaly Con, run by other people, and that con went away. So the Whimsy Con is kind of the replacement for that. I met some fabulous people. It was great. So I shared a table with Richard Friesen. He writes epic fantasy. We had a vendor table for the weekend that we shared, and it was wonderful. And I met Milton Davis, who writes fantasy and steampunk, steampunk adventure, and other fun stories too. But and I met James Hunter, who is a multi-genre author and extremely prolific and very energetic. And I met Chaz Kemp, who is a really fabulous artist, and he did Friesen's covers, and I will show you those in a minute because it will be fun, at least one of them. And then I met a lady by the name of Jessica, who makes wings and charms and things, and with whom I will be collaborating on a secret project. And I met Owen Wares, who writes horror and happens to live in Fort Collins, which is where I live. So it's funny that we had to go to South Denver to meet one another, but you know, that's the way things are. I met Carol Heitschuh, who is the other Carol at the con, because people would say, "Are you Carol?" "Oh, no, you're not the right one." And she is the owner of Wolf Singer Press, and she publishes some really lovely science fiction and fantasy anthologies. Lots of people know her, and that's why they came to me. "Oh, Carol, oh, you're not the right one." So James and Carol and an author by the name of Guy Anthony DeMarco and I were on a panel about self-publishing and indie publishing for ebooks and print, and we just kind of rambled on, and the audience seemed to like it. Well, we didn't ramble really, because we all had opinions and things. By the way, I'm going to try and show this. This is the cover of the program. See, I'm trying to see this. It's hard to tell. This is the cover of the program. We're at Whimsy Con, and there's you'd still think I'd be better at this. There, my page. Very exciting, I know. And there goes the cat. Okay, she's really bored with me now. Okay, so I also renewed my acquaintance with Stan Latore, who is a fantasy author and of probably the only zombie book that I would ever want to read, because I think it's the Zombie Bible, and zombies just really aren't my thing, but I would read I would almost want to read. It's really interesting because he's a really fun, really warm, lovely man. So I have to kind of laugh because several of the gentle, lively fans of steampunk and fantasy had never heard of space opera, and I had to explain that it's a genre of science fiction and not a style of space age music. But I was a good sport about it. And speaking of musicals, my friend Kate Blair came by my table and said hi, and I said hi back, and she stage managed and assisted directed several of the musical productions that I have been in. I've been usually in the chorus or small roles, and so hi Kate. The con had I could just flip through it for you, but it's kind of hard to see on the camera. They had such an abundance of panels and an amazing array of subjects. So if attendees were bored or couldn't find something to go to, it was their own damn fault, because there was an amazing amount of stuff. The guest of honor was Milton Davis. Actually, they had he was the author guest of honor, they had an artist guest of honor, and a costuming guest of honor as well. But Milton Davis, with whom I had the good luck to share a table with during the author book signing session, he wrote a lovely book called From Here to Timbuktu. Let's see if I can hold it correctly now. There, see, From Here to Timbuktu. This is an alternate history steampunk, and it's set in the U.S., but not at all as we know it. And from what Milton described to me as we sat there waiting for people to come by so that we may sign their lovely books, it's like international adventure and political skullduggery and spies and chases and things like that takes you from here to Timbuktu, hence the title. And it's all about a race to recover a stolen book that's very important, and lots of people steal it, and it goes all over the country, and or the planet, I should say. And it sounded so way cool that I had to get a copy and have him autograph it for me. See right there, and see that says "Welcome to Fredonia." You should look up the Haitian Rebellion and see what Fredonia is all about, because it's more than just a Marx Brothers movie, a country in a Marx Brothers movie. Anyway, this sounds so way cool. It is at the top of my to-be-read mountain. I think that if Hollywood is listening to my little podcast here, this needs to be made into a movie. Oh my God, it sounds fabulous. So there's that. Okay. And there's a Denver artist whose work I really, really admire. Richard Friesen, my table mate, happened to hire him to do all of his covers. And so here's my other, this is my other prop. Let me hold this. So this is, I'm terrible at this. This is Chaz Kemp's artwork for Richard Friesen's 5-book series. And it's just gorgeous. I mean, it reminds me very much of, this is how I think Wonder Woman should be dressed. See, it's more appropriate, although maybe not the little gaps right here where, you know, swords can get her and stuff. But there it is. This is art. It's different from you know, practical and stuff like that. So, having told you all about Whimsy Con, now I'm going to tell you about Pet Trade. So you may recall that I was last year in a anthology by the name of Embrace the Romance, Pets in Space 2, that happened to become an award-winning USA Today best-selling science fiction romance anthology, and my story in it was Pet Trade. Well, the anthology is no more. It has left the galaxy, never to return. So I got the rights back to that story, and I am publishing it solo. So in my series timeline, by the way, it takes place between Pico's Crush and Jumper's Hope. But it's not really a part of the big damn story arc that's going on at all. And it has pets. It has pets. Most of the authors in the anthology went with 1 or 2 pets, but I went a little overboard, and my story has 17 or more, depending on how you count them. So nonetheless, it has lots of pets, and they're fun. They're great pets. Anyway, you can reserve your copy today and have it automatically delivered to your e-reader on March 20th. So for the books you can hold in your hand, fans, the paperback will be coming out in April. It takes a little longer to produce that. So that's pretty much all I have. And I see that Al Klaus said hello to my kitty, who is long since departed because I'm really boring when I talk and not pet her. So, yes, she's a very lovely kitty, and silly. But then so am I, so it seems to work out. I will end this podcast now, I think, because I've rambled on long enough. And you should go and check out Pet Trade, which is up for pre-order and will be coming out the 20th of March. And don't worry, if you're on my mailing list or anything like that, you'll get a notice. I won't neglect you. All right, so I'm signing off for the day, and I will see you anon. Bye.